Yo guys, welcome back to another video. And yes, we've got the trait strat. You can probably push onto like 2.4k, maybe higher. It's just my familiars, I guess. I'm not gonna say they're not the best. I've got a few crazy ones, and I guess it's only one familiar that actually kind of puts me over. So yeah. See, the only reason I made the strat is because I've seen a lot of people ask me um for a trait strat, but I don't have Monarch SK. As you can see, I bought Ethereal, so I was hesitant on it. But yeah, some guy just randomly pinged me today saying, "Can you make a straight strat?" I was like, why not? And you can see that was at 10:04. Right now it's 10:40, so pretty much it just took one run to get this. Who's this? Oh, Citrus. But yeah, it took one run to get this, so the score I've got is about 2.3k. And in terms of the team, this is the team I'm running. We've got Stark, Ethereal SK Triple Ascension, Monarch Griffith, we've got The Smith, and we've got Kaguya and Sukuna. So pretty much in terms of the familiars, we got this is the main familiar that's kind of cooking me over because I don't have the actual like proper great one of it. But you can see we got 43%. This time I became cropped one. I should probably farm up a better one. If you had like a 60 to 70%, maybe like 75% is the max. But if you have like something in that range, it's pretty good. It makes a big difference, to be honest. So we got that one. We got Sukuna with this finger. I gave my Strange Cat to Kaguya. I've got a 39% nature. It's pretty much 39%. I got this one yesterday. Then for burb wise, I've got these two burbs. We got this one on SK. More range, more damage. In terms of crit, it's nothing crazy. It's just like the crit chance is kind of low. And for Griffith, I gave this one 18% range, 14% damage, 31% crit damage, and 23% crit chance. It's actually kind of cool. All my recent ones have been cooked over. Then last but not least, we got the Fu Familiar on, I guess, the Smith, and that's pretty much it. Let's just get into this. I'm gonna do the voiceover and I'll post this pretty much. You have a whole day to do this at least. So yeah, I need to get on with this card. I need to do my AV chores, man. Let's see what ones do I have to do. I have to do this. Okay, I don't even know if I want to do the eyes on one. Eyes on one is so tedious. Same with the other one. I'll just get them done. But yeah, let's just get into this. Okay guys, so pretty much you just place your Smith down. Just leave them down. Then you get your Griffith down, use your Eclipse. What's nice about SK is he does not get the debuff from being branded. That makes sense. So he's just very good. He just synergizes with Griffith pretty well. So you place your SK down here, and because it is blinded and energy drain, he just becomes hyper buffed, and he pretty much is the main carry for this. So yeah, SK just carries so hard. But yeah, once you got 5 takedowns, you pretty much just use your damage buffers from your Smith. So around this point, I do use that, I think. And you just do it for all SKs when you can. Also, make sure you upgrade one of the SKs, and you want to get him to his half AoE. Also, make sure to give your what's it called again? The damage buff to each of the SKs. They should be at 1.93x. For you, maybe 1.9, I guess. Depends mainly on your few. Yeah, once you go up to after this upgrade, you're pretty much just doing a lot of work. Okay, now you can place your Kage or just use your domains whenever you can. We're alternating between ice and sand, and also use your or put your SK your Starks down and send them to bosses. Make sure to do that. And now place your Sukuna down. Get him to upgrade 3 and use the range buffer. Let's see. Upgrade 3 and give him range buff. And now with my ethereal Sukuna, he should be just carrying a lot of that. Because he's gonna have a low SPA, meaning that they're gonna have no chances to regen or revitalize actually. There might be some instances where it messes up, but it shouldn't mess up for the most part. And I can see these enemies are getting cleared so easily. See, I was just fumbling here, but you give your damage buff to your Kage as well. Make sure you just cycle domains. Ice sand, ice sand, ice sand. Just keep cycling those two. And you should see your Huckle's boss get slowed. And once you got one SK maxed out, you're just gonna get a flood of income from the mobs. And you can just keep farming on your other SKs. Yeah, the reason we went for the max upgrade on our smith, after you use 3 normal or swords or smith buffs, you can use the masterwork for free. So we're using the masterwork on our maxed out SK and he's at 400k damage. 400k damage, 100 range, 5.7 SP. It's kind of crazy. We do have this stock here just for slowing. You should probably give him the range buff so he can hit all corners. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, most of your end is just going into your SKs. And make sure you're using your Kage domain, by the way. So when you see Kage just normally TP, she only TPs when domains are not up. So yeah, the whole 20 or was it 15 to 20 seconds, I could have used my, was it next domain. So I was just being stupid in that part. But yeah, from here, I'm just waiting for Griffith to self-cleanse because as you guys do know, cosmic element units do have self-cleanse every 30 seconds. So once he cleanses and see his multipliers go back up, I'm gonna quickly hit him with the sword of, well, not the sword, the debuff thing. And you can see any moment now. And there we go. He's at 1.25x damage. And if my boss is this slow, he should just die easily, so it's fine. See, even with Griffith not getting buffed, like, in terms of, like, with the damage stuff, his damage is still crazy. He's over with DPS. And now you just give your remaining buffs to all your other units. But you can see, yeah, look, it's still 80k DPS, which is still nuts, you know. And it's gonna be keeping increasing. Well, you can manually increase that as well if you just sacrifice units for the to the demons. But you can see at this point, wave 20-ish, when the wave 20 boss spawns, you should have all your SKs maxed out. So yeah, you have auto off at wave 19 actually as well. And make sure your Kage is set to bosses as well. She's gonna be doing a lot of damage, she's gonna be stalling, plus she's gonna be buffing her own units, and for that nuke. We're gonna need to nuke that second boss. If you manage things a lot better, you probably can kill the second boss without using any nukes, which is pretty nice. Meaning you have a nuke towards the end for extra damage, or extra kills I guess. Yeah, for this one I was contemplating where to put him. And I think I moved him a bit more left because I was hoping with 27 range he would have like that whole little bend done, like covered over, but he won't. Make sure your auto is still on. Wave 20. It's turned back on at wave 20. And from here, you just keep auto on until like wave 29 or 8. And you want to be putting the rest of your yen into Kaguya, or you want to get this Sukuna to that upgrade. Set your Griffith to boss, because his DPS does add a good amount of damage to that boss. And one little trick you can do is you could, what's it called again? Oh yeah, you can keep auto off for wave 20, so the boss spawns at wave 20. If he spawns at wave 20, he should spawn with 66 million HP, which means you're saving about 8 million total damage in total, or if that makes sense. You would need to do 8 million less damage, so you can probably kill him without using your Kage nuke, you'll see. I guess that's one little tip you guys can take from this. Make him spawn at wave 20 so you have less HP. And to be honest, the main part of this is just hoping your Starks lock in and you can just perfectly stall him each time. Make sure your Stark has DSPA, by the way. DSPA. And he needs, I guess, Marksman trait is the best trait for him. You don't want to give him anything that changes the SPA. And you can see Kage is pretty much stalling and buffing all our units. So yeah, it's just so clutch. Yeah, wave 27 you have auto off. And you guys are probably thinking, the boss has not even taken his first life off. But yeah, things are fine. Don't worry, don't worry. And you use your, was it the range buffer on your Stark, and you're pretty much just trying to stall as much as possible. And you can see Griffith's damage and range is kind of crazy, so yeah. And I've set him to last, and you're gonna just keep following the boss. Ideally, you want to keep your SKs in a spot where you can hit the boss and the mobs, so it's kind of hard to manage, but yeah. But yeah, you can see for the most part we should be able to kill this boss. You see that another whole, was it 10 seconds maybe? That wasn't slowing it, so yeah. If you perfect slow it and perfect stall it, you won't have to use anything at all. I mean, when I mean not anything, you won't have to use a single flipping nuke from Kaguya. I mean, you have a save the nuke for later. But you can see, when the next sand domain hits, so basically 2 domains later, we're going to be using our Kaguya nuke. And if you see your Hercules boss around this much HP, he is killable, so yeah. So your next sand domain, I'm going to be using that nuke. If you guys manage things better, don't worry, you don't have to nuke at all. I mean, you have a better run, of course, better score than me. And this also deals with those leaks there, those homunculus. And he should be dead, you know, we get that last instance of slowing him. And we can just sell our stock. And once that boss is there, we can just move our SKs back to the front. So you see, place did not move because they already TP'd at the back, and now I can replace them again. I'd have to replace again, so yeah. And now that they TP'd, I can actually use the thing on him again. You need to cycle your domains again. Use the range buff. Was it the spear one? Yeah. Yeah, but pretty much it's just stalling all these mobs and bosses as much as possible. Well, pretty much you don't even die to the boss, you die to the mobs because the homunculus do get a bit too much. But yeah, you're going to be stalling the boss as much as possible and just dealing with these mobs as best as possible. And you can see SK's damage is so crazy that he's just clearing up these guys. Even a lot of them who had full HP. But this one at the front won't die, so it's kind of a bummer that you have this much damage from Kage just being wasted as well. Yeah, you're able to stall this boss as much as possible. And compared to Heracles, he's just very slow, so yeah. Hercules, Heracles, whatever. But he's very slow. And we gave the range buff to him as well. And see his range was crazy. This is because he's being cleansed, of course. When he's not cleansed, it's still like, it's like, what's it, 30 something range, 40% range. So yeah, it's still doing decent. And pretty much we upgrade our Stark because he's pretty much perfect slowing the boss, so we don't have to worry about doing anything else. And you can see that little bend over there, we don't have any bleed on, so those homunculus are kind of dangerous, you know. They could end up healing each other and healing that boss. The boss being healed don't mean anything, but it's just those mobs. And you can see the DPS we have on all our units here during, I guess, within Griffith's range. It's kind of crazy. You want to keep your SKs within Griffith's range at all time. Because that extra 40% damage, it does a lot, you know. See, we're already at wave 40, you know. We're at 2k kills. Not too bad. The fact that we can even survive for 4 more minutes, it's crazy. Well, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. If there was a specific way to target these homunculuses, man, they're so annoying to deal with. I guess you could try set your... Even if you set your target to the weakest, does not help. Because you're gonna still be following the boss. And the weakest are actually the ones that are dying, so... These homunculuses, they're not... You're not even... It's not even possible to even stall them. I mean, to kill them, I guess. It's just quite frustrating. You see the next batch of homunculuses spawning in, those are the ones that are an issue. And yeah, you're gonna be upgrading this, getting as much slow as possible, and pretty much you're just leaving your SKs there. You don't want to move them any further back. Well, yeah, don't move them further back than what they are now. You see this batch of homunculuses, yeah, they're quite annoying. They get real close. I tried setting to weakest, but doesn't do much, you know. You can see, yeah, look, these guys are so low, but it's just an issue. Once they leave that Sukina's range, they're pretty much not gonna die. And yeah, the keeping SKs here is not too bad. The TP to the start over there is not too bad. And those mobs are getting very close to the front, you know. It's not nice. You know, I did make a mistake moving the SKs out of Griffith's range. And I accidentally used the range buff on them, so yeah, I lost a bit of damage there. But I used the damage buff back again. But yeah, pretty much we don't even follow with the Starks anymore. At this point, we're just stalling with Kage as much as possible. Because you would want to use Stark, but you're just going to be wasting a lot of damage at the back. So yeah, just moving our SKs back to the back and then setting it to weakest. Move it to weakest, and now we just stall. Make sure you turn auto wave skip off. And after the next moment, you just click yes button. And that's pretty much it for the strat, you know. You guys can get a lot more. You know, if you have a better Roja familiar. And if you can manage your SKs and your Starks better. So if you had the nuke at this point, that'll be a lot more kills. That's it for the strat. Like and subscribe, and yes, I'll see you in the next one. No traders final strat because how laggy it is. We'll see. It depends on tomorrow. But yeah, overall W video, and yes, I'll see you. I guess next tournament at least. Peace.